Hey, what's up, everyone? Coach Link here for Missing Link Fitness LLC. Thank you for joining me today. Here on my channel, I like to talk about everything health and fitness. I will be talking a lot about the holistic approach using natural supplementation as much as possible for supplementing your workouts, pre, post, and also just everyday living as well. So if you're somebody who does exercise, somebody maybe kind of a little bit here and there or not, it's to better make helping to make better decisions and making an approach on making your better quality of life. We want to have that. Okay, so as long as we can. All right. So anyway, wanted to jump right into this one. Do you know what body type you are? Now, this one I have looked into many times, and you probably even heard about it thrown around a little bit. But I wanted to just bring it up today. What's your body type? And there's three different types, like ectomorph, endomorph, or mesomorph. Okay, you can also research this. So I'm going to give you a little tidbit of information. So your body type, again, ectomorph, endomorph, or mesomorph. Okay, body types are somatotypes is what they're somotypes, somatotypes. Okay, I don't want to hear that thrown around that very much, but ectomorph, endomorph, or mesomorph I do. So some of these words I might butcher, but hey, again, you can do some research and you can read it, these are hereditary traits based on your skeletal frame, bone structure and density, and body composition, muscle and fat mass. So understanding bone structure and fat muscle distribution can help you reach your fitness goals. See, it does help. So you get a better understanding of what your body type may be. You can kind of, plan with your nutritional needs, around with that. And it does make a difference. Okay. So let's start with the ectomorph. Ectomorph, this body type is thin, usually tall and lanky, and these individuals with a sturdy, rounder bone structure would have wider hips, stocky limbs, and barrel-shaped rib cages. Now, you probably know someone like that, or you may be that way yourself. Okay, so I have spoken with, in my journeys there of a trainer of people, that has this body type, where they would ask me about how to put on muscle mass, because they just struggle with that. They can eat all the crap in the world and they'll still not gain weight. Now, when we look at them and go, man, you must be lucky. That means you can eat whatever you want and stuff and enjoy your diet, so to speak, and still look like a Greek god or something, and you just hate them for it, right? But they may do that. So they're trying to eat like, garbage foods, basically. But, really, it's kind of wrecking their internal health over the long term. You know what I mean? That, internal means like your organs, your heart, anything like that. Back in the day, we used to call it dirty bulking. And I didn't have the structure or, the knowledge or anybody to teach me, say, for like gaining muscle mass when I wanted to gain muscle mass. And that's just the thing I read about, like from the old, pro bodybuilders back in the day, was to, eat a bunch of calories, carbohydrates. That means eating cheeseburgers, fries, pizzas, whatever, drinking milk and things like that. And we called it dirty bulking. So we'd gain a lot of weight to try to build muscle mass, and then come like, around a competition season, or say beach, you get in the beach season first of the year, and then try to shed all this fat off. Well, unfortunately, it may work great when you're younger, but as you get older, it just gets rough on the body. And if you're still trying to do that, I'm telling you, you're going to be like a beached whale, because it's like just getting rid of it gets harder and harder as you age. So now we came a long way with more knowledge, and also, of course, you got the internet that you can look at, give you more instruction on how to up your calories and eat, basically eating cleaner, so you feel better too. So you don't want to feel like crap, because all that junk food and things like that, it screws with, your natural hormone system, and especially with men and women, you can mess with your thyroid, whatever. But anyway, your natural hormone system, and you start getting this bad weight and stuff, and it's hard to get rid of it, but the chemicals that's in those processed foods can really mess those up, and it's like then you can't shake the weight, and then it becomes frustrating, So anyway, there's better choices nowadays, and I've even learned that more for myself. So going back to it, ectomorph, they struggle to gain weight no matter how many carbs or how much fat they eat. They usually have a lean build with long limbs and small muscles. They gain weight naturally. To gain weight naturally, they must load up on carbohydrates and foods full of calories. All right, again, that could go back to eating junk foods. They're just trying to gain as much as they can, so they eat, you know, this crap, because they can get a bunch of calories and carbohydrates, eat good or bad or whatever, and basically in one sitting, we're doing 2 or 3 meals a day that's really high in it. And you're looking at possibly for somebody kind of like if it's trying to gain mass, some of these people, and it depends on if they're very active on what their job is, you know, that they work outside, that they sit behind the computer, you know, kind of thing. You got some of these guys, you know, or girls, matter of fact, are on their feet a lot and they move around a lot. So they're in a constant state, not just naturally like burning calories and burning through all this stuff, but they're moving about. So they're very physical, so to speak. And I ain't talking about just in the weight room. So that can play, you know, a big part on them like that. But somebody like that, you would think probably need 3,500 to 4,000 calories or more in a day, just try to gain some weight, you know, especially if they're working out as well, going to the gym, you know, doing their thing. The diet with most of their calories should come from carbs and at least 25% from protein if they want to build muscles. Now, you want to get some good protein in there. You want to feed the muscle, not the body fat, as much as possible. Okay, so again, trying to stay away from the dirty bulk. So workout is also important to indulge in high intensity interval training. Also eat something small every 2 hours. You can do that. Also with carbohydrates. You know, you can do a carbohydrate supplement. You got those out there now. You know, you can mix them in with like your protein shakes to add extra carbohydrates, or even with your BCAAs, because most of them are like, they don't have a taste to them. So you can do that. And so even mixing creatine, put some creatine in there with it. So that'll help gain some more muscle mass. You know, but you're eating the complex carbohydrate, which is a slow insulin release to the body. And instead of eating, you know, sugars, you know, cakes and things like that, but eating them complex carbohydrates, whole grains, you know, and stuff, and also eating, you know, like fruits and stuff. So they must be sure to get all necessary nutrients to build strong muscles. The next one is the endomorph. If an individual finds it ridiculously tough to shed fat, that would be an endomorph. Then they probably have an endomorphic body type, which they tend to gain weight faster, but they look curvy. Endomorphs usually look broader and have a triangular bone structure, narrow hips, and broader shoulders. Okay, so they usually have broad shoulders, narrow hips, and shorter limbs, while they have large muscle mass. And for, again, endomorphs is more like, you know, they don't have a problem gaining muscle mass, as you can see. They can eat probably very little in calories, but, you know, when they work out, they just mass up pretty easily. And you got some that's like that. And you probably know somebody like that, or you may be one yourself. So with that, they store excess weight in their thighs, buttocks, and hips, giving them a pear-shaped appearance. And the best way for an endomorph to lose weight is through a combination of healthy eating and regular exercise. So again, you know, eating a healthy diet and stuff. I had a friend of mine, it matched this to the T, an endomorph, and this guy, he was huge. I mean, he loved powerlifting too, and he was just like, man, he was just strong, you know. But he had that endomorph. I mean, he would get huge, you know, and it didn't take much for him to build mass. He was just a big guy, big, large bone structure, you know, there as well. So his density was, but he was strong. Diet. So start by cutting down carbs to only 30% of total daily calories. The other 70% should be divided into protein and good fats. All right, workout. Cardio is the best form of exercise because it ensures that the body does not revert to fat stored stages. Now with this, if you're adjusting your diet around, say you're taking in less carbohydrates, and with your calories, you're taking in, like, say, some more proteins. You can also do, like, say, 2 meals, you know, kind of like every, you know, I'll say 2 meals. Every 2 hours is doing, like, a good healthy meal and stuff there as well, and that can help you get you on your way. So the reason I say that is you don't have to go in there thinking you got to cardio yourself to death. I've seen some people do this where they just take, I've seen some people don't even touch resistant weight, and they want to lose weight, and they're, like, round as a ball. And I'm not trying to be funny about it, but they are. And they'd be sweating it up, man. They'd be working it, you know. And then, but they never lose weight. You know, that's another thing. You know, the resistance training, they got to throw that in there, break down the muscle fibers, to let the muscle mending and recovery can help also burn body fat and, you know, burning calories, and pretty much stay in a steady state of burning calories. Because once they get on there and they burn 700 calories, you know, running on a treadmill or whatever, and doing a lot of calorie, it's like once they cool down, they're not burning any more calories. You know, at least when you're doing resistance training, you're breaking down those muscle fibers. You know, it takes about 48 to 72 hours for them to heal, and all the while what that's doing is burning calories just to recover, you know, to repair itself. So you don't have to go in there and cardio yourself to death, because I think you go in there and you start doing that, and which a lot of people will. They become discouraged, get frustrated, and then they stop going. You know, it's almost like a New Year's resolution. See, a lot of those kind of start that way. Start in January and about February, March, April, May, maybe. You don't see them anymore. So again, they can do high intensity interval training and cross training to build muscles. Also, the main goal should not to just lose weight, but to boost metabolism and prevent calories from turning into fat. Okay. The last one here, Mesomorph. Mesomorph, this body type is generally considered the ideal body type. Individuals usually look lighter and have a more rectangular bone structure, longer limbs, thinner bones, and flatter rib cage. A mesomorph has a natural tendency to stay fit and achieve muscle mass very easily. They have more muscle than fat on their bodies and are not overweight or underweight. So what does that sound like? The perfect, you know, are you that? You know, so it's like, be nice. We always like that, right? So anyway, the diet's just like the ectomorphs. Mesomorphs too can eat whatever they like without putting on weight, but the flip side here is that they may gain weight just as easily if they aren't careful, and that's true. You got to be careful with that. I've even seen some people that can eat whatever they want, you know, and for a long time, you know, I'm talking about years. When they was young, you know, was very active, and even probably still very active. But when they were younger, I mean, they just be thin. And then I've seen them, you know, the older they got, now they kind of like starting to fill out a little bit. So sometimes, like, you know, your metabolism and stuff with age, of course, your hormonal changes and stuff like that start slowing it down. They're probably not as active, you know, too, which I'm pretty sure. Then they start to gain, you know, that starts catching up to them. How about that? So because people with this body type have a lot to do with muscle, it stands to reason that they need a more protein-based diet that can help build and repair muscles. Okay, so you're looking at more protein and stuff like that. It's not that hard. Honestly, this is a good guide for you, you know. They also need to consume a lot of fruits and vegetables rich with antioxidants and whole grains like quinoa, oats, you know, etc. So work out. Just because mesomorphs have a naturally muscular body doesn't mean they don't need to exercise. They need to, you know, train to stay lean. They've got to still work. You got to work with it. You got to work at it. Alternating between weights and cardio would be the ideal workout for mesomorphs. So they can do basically like 30 minutes resistance, 30 minutes of cardio. And if they're watching their diet, they don't have to, you know, overtrain. You know, again, it's like cardioing yourself to death, but even working out with the weights, I've seen some people that can, I mean, I say can, but work out 2 hours or something a day. That catches up to you. I'm sorry, but I don't care what shape you're in. Eventually that halts because you just not recovering, and you're probably not taking enough calories to even help in recovery. You know, but anyway, it's another story. So, but anyway, that's how body types work. So you can go into, again, do some research on that. Okay. And again, you probably heard that thrown around a lot, but never really just looked into it, kind of heard about it. And I'm just saying that, you know, look it up, body types. What's your body type? You can ask that, you know, into the Google and stuff. So also with any kind of food and supplementation or whatever, still consult with your doctor as well. And they can also help. Some of them's really good with helping getting your ideal, you know, diet and weight and stuff like that, and kind of give you like a blueprint, so to speak. Again, I say it's not that hard, and probably, you know, some people say, well, no, that's you saying that. No, because I mean, I practiced it for many years. I started working out when I was 13 years old. I'm now 51. So, I mean, I've had my ups and downs, and a lot of times just because I got too busy working and, you know, things. Now, I still lifted weights. I still went to the gym pretty much every day. I just kind of didn't, you know, ate whatever I wanted sometimes. But I went to the gym, worked out because, you know, I still love lifting weights, you know. So if you know who Ronnie Colvin is, which I'm sure you do, you know, that's how he started. He just loved to go to the gym and work out. And I mean, he might have busted up his body, but he still loves it. He loves it for the lifting weights. So that's the kind of lifestyle you want to try to make. You know, you don't have to go to that extreme, so to speak, for him or myself, as far as I like to lift and things like that too. But it's overall quality of life, and that's what I like to push, and that's why I like to train people. You know, it's like work with, don't just make it a destination of one thing, make it a lifetime, you know, and keep yourself, you know, in good health. All right, so that's going to do it right there. I'll be back with some more information. Anyway, if you haven't, you can check out my website, missinglinkfitnessllc.com. And also, I'm on Spotify, so you can listen to my podcast on there as well. So until the next time, stay healthy.